Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. We've got a guest already, because it is Monday indeed. How is everyone today, this lovely Monday, the 10th of July, 2023? I'm Darkside Phil, and welcome to the Level 1 podcast, guest starring the Jasper Kitty. And how y'all doing? Hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're ready for the second half of my streaming week, which should be way more normal than this last weekend was. As you guys know, this last weekend was not very normal. We had a shortened interrupted streaming schedule on Saturday because of some home repairs that I needed to have done. And then yesterday was only a half day, and it was the React day on top of that. So we've had a shortage of gameplay over this weekend, to say the least. And, you know, usually I'm here full-time, double streams every day, streaming different games, and I hear you. People are like, well, what's going on? Are we getting back to normalcy or whatever? The answer is yes, as of today, okay? Jasper Kitty, what's going on? What are you up to today, buddy? Let's hear from Jasper for once. We don't usually get to hear from Jasper about what he's up to. Jasper, how is everything in the life of the kitties? How's cat life? Jasper, how's cat life? Tell us, what's going on in the lives of felines? What is the hottest new news in the lives of felines? He's laying down on my lap. Jasper. He talks to me all the time, just not here. I was just in the bathroom brushing my teeth before I started the podcast, and he walks in, he's on the counter, he goes, meow, 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 meow. Now he won't say a word. Jasper. Meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. He's just staring at me. Hoi, hoi, hoi. All right, buddy, you can't sit on my lap during the show. You know this. You know the rules. He's becoming more and more of a snuggler. You know, now he's reached around middle age for a cat. You know, we don't actually know his exact age, which is sad. I wish we did, because when we rescued him, we were told he could be around 3 years old, but they weren't sure. They didn't have the exact, age. So right now he's probably 7 to 8 years old, but we don't know, which is roughly middle age for a cat. And so he's actually changing some of his lifestyle behaviors. He's more of a relaxed cat now. I mean, he still gets hyper. He still runs all around the house. But, for example, he likes to, lay down next to either Cat or I in bed and snuggle with us. He'll snuggle with our arm, and he'll, curl up into a position where he can sleep right next to us in bed. Down on the couch downstairs, he loves to lay right next to Cat, and she pets him nicely as he lays right next to her. He never used to do that kind of stuff. He used to just, go off in a corner and sleep by himself or go somewhere else. Now he's like a snuggler. He wants to become a snuggler kitty in his middle age, which is fine. We don't mind. But, if I'm going to do a stream with a podcast or gameplay, I can't have that. I need to be able to have free reign to move or whatever. So it is what it is. But he knows that. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. It's Monday. 3 more days of streaming for me, starting today, that are full-time gameplay days. Yes, there will not be any more, or there should not be, any more further interruptions to my regular streaming schedule. Starting today, everything should be fine, which I hope, goes down without a hitch. And I hope that you guys are ready for some chill fun and some fighting game gameplay finally. I say finally, even though I played it all day Friday. It was a good weekend overall. So what happened yesterday is we had a fun day of DSP React, DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show. Is the only real streaming that I did yesterday. It went well. We had a good variety of clips, I would say. And I just want to say thank you, and here's why I want to say a special thanks. Yesterday was a day that already was going to be a weird day. I only did one stream instead of two. I wasn't doing any gameplay. Typically, when I stream my React show, I'll be honest, the support is quite slow. That channel, DSP Reacts, is pretty much supported almost solely by memberships. People who became members of that channel are the ones who are keeping it afloat because I make almost no revenue at all on the videos. Case in point, yesterday I made 6 videos of me reacting to clips from all over the internet that the members had submitted. Out of those 6 clips I uploaded, 4 of them were instantly demonetized, 1 of them was claimed, 3 of them, ad suitability. What are you talking about? I'm just reacting to clips. There's nothing bad about the clips. There's nothing sexualized. There's nothing gory. There's nothing over-the-top adult content. Why are you demonetizing the clips? Because that's the YouTube algorithm, baby. It's messed up. It doesn't work right. It just demonetizes things for no reason. So when I uploaded them, immediately making nothing on them. So that's what I mean. Like, it's based on memberships over there, the basic income that I get working on that channel. So I want to say thank you because yesterday, not only did we get a significant amount of tips on the one stream that I did, but in addition, someone gifted like 20 memberships to DSP React. That's amazing. Number one, the reason this is really awesome is because this means more people next week are members and will be able to nominate clips for the show. The more members we have, the more clips nominated, the better the show is going to be because we're going to have bigger variety of clips. And remember, the way the show works is I put those clips into a completely shuffled, randomized playlist, so every member has an equal chance to have their video watched. It's going to be fun to see more people now in the mix, and hopefully we'll see bigger variety of clips next week rather than being the same people submitting clips every week, you see? So that's awesome, but of course, having 20 more members on that channel, absolutely will help that channel a heck of a lot more in the long run. So thank you to anyone who was involved with supporting the content yesterday. It was very nice of you. I wasn't able to stream last night because I was filming private React videos for my patrons because there are people who pledge to my Patreon, and if they pledge $50 or more, they're eligible for a full-length video of 20 to 25 minutes or longer, depending on the content. And I had several different private React videos to make last night, so I needed to take the time out to do it. Now that's done. So here's the good news. We are full speed ahead. We should have no more major interruptions whatsoever all the way until the end of the month. The next date where I foresee we're going to have a major issue interrupting my streams would be the 29th of July when I'm going to be doing my very special marathon event, a long-form React event I haven't done the likes of in many months called The Dark Side of Machinima. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about this in a bit, but this is going to be an exciting event where I recap my time as a part of the Machinima Partner Network over 6 years. I'm going to react to a documentary about it. It's going to be a fun time, all right? But anyway, I'm going to have pretty much uninterrupted content now for the rest of the month, which is great because, having these interruptions and things, it can be, a little bit chaotic, a little bit uncertain of what's Phil doing today, something going on that's screwing up the schedule. And the good news is, no, there shouldn't be anything, of any significance now for like 3 weeks, okay, which is always appreciated. So, all right. Shall we discuss various different things going on? I think so. All right. So, I think we should get everyone caught up on everything that's going on. So someone says, did I just get out of bed? No, I showered. I showered right before the stream. What I've done is I've tried to change my schedule, my personal life schedule up a little bit because I think having a shower like right before the stream is refreshing and it makes me feel more ready for the day, particularly these days when I'm going to play Street Fighter, to come in here feeling clean and fresh as opposed to, I showered last night, then slept and woke up this morning and now I'm doing a stream without showering. It feels kind of gross, honestly. When I'm playing Street Fighter particularly, like I get all worked up, my adrenaline gets pumping, my body temperature goes up, I sweat. And when that happens, it's gross, So if I'm, newly showered, I actually feel much better doing it than not. So I've actually changed my schedule. I'm up a little earlier every morning now to kind of get all that stuff always done right before the stream. So literally my hair is showered and conditioned right before the stream. That's why I come in here with my hair all fluffy like this. okay? The good news about that, though, I don't have to wet my hair or brush it. Where, previously, my hair always looked like it was greasy and slicked back, and that's always because I was, wetting it and greasing it back, and I don't want to really do that anymore. I'd like to, just keep it natural like this, if possible. Now, of course, it's going to look a little puffy or whatever, but that's all good, right? Anyway, so where are we with all the games and things that I'm doing? Because a lot of people are asking and wondering about things we're going to be doing in the near future. It's a great concern. Let's talk. 4 playthroughs I've been working on for the last month and a half. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter 6, although Street Fighter 6 technically isn't much of a playthrough, but it's more covering a competitive game. Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy 16. Where are we with each game? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, we're at the end. We're in the end game. We're in the final dungeon right now, and we're roughly halfway through it, although I do have to complete the 2 tougher challenges that are left in the dungeon, and then defeat the boss, so I don't know how long that's going to take. Then after that, we have to basically make an underground trek to Ganon, which I've heard is not easy, but very annoying. And then when you finally get to Ganon, the final boss fight's very challenging. So we basically have some tough stuff to do before we can beat Zelda, but we're there. We're there at the end to start tackling it, all right? Diablo 4, we've completed. Now, there's other content in Diablo 4 to do, including the Capstone Dungeon, including this season that's coming up supposedly on July 20th. But as I announced the other day when we beat it, I want to take a break from it. We literally just played the game for 22, 23 hours. We beat the story. It took a month. I kind of want a break from doing that game so that we have time to do other things. And I have some other ideas in mind that we're going to discuss this morning. I'd like to field your opinions on what you would like to see, okay? So, for now, Diablo's done. I'm not saying we will never go back to it. I'm just saying we might go back to it in the future, but for now, I definitely need a break from these things I've been doing for so long. Fair enough? Okay. Street Fighter 6. Well, I have played a ridiculous amount of Street Fighter 6 in the last month, probably my most played game in ages for a new release. But the reason is because it's a competitive fighting game. I'm not playing through a story or anything like that, and not to say the game doesn't have a story, which we'll talk about in a second, but I've now played, I want to say, it's 11 characters? Let's actually confirm that. 11. I've played 11 of the characters out of the 18 in the game and messed around with them. Now, some of them I've stuck with. Blanca, I would argue, is my main, who I've stuck with the most, right? I would say Lily, as well as Zangief, and probably Marisa are the characters who I've done the best with overall and have played with the most. There are some characters who I tried pretty hard with, like Ryu. I did a 5-hour stream of, well, a 5-hour day of, and tried to get better, and then I played him again on another stream, so 8 hours of Ryu, to try to learn him, and it's been a rough ride, because some of these characters are a little different from how I remember them from other games, and in my opinion, are actually higher execution characters. Like Chun-Li, I think, is a great character in this game, but she's so high execution, I almost never see anyone even use her, So, 11 characters used. And this week, particularly, I took a break off from trying new characters because I said, I need a week to just focus in on the characters I'm trying to get better with. And we had great progress with Blanca back on Friday. After 5 hours of gameplay, not only did I hit my 1,000th win in Street Fighter 6, but my Blanca leveled up to 3-star Diamond. We are on the way to Master, and I actually did research on this. Once you hit Master, that's the highest rank you can get. You can't go higher than, there's not Master 1-star, 2-star. It's just, you're a Master level. And you're in there among the upper echelon of Street Fighter 6 players when you hit that. So, I would eventually like to do that with Blanca. But I don't want to keep playing the same character constantly because you guys tell me you want more gameplay and variety of gameplay, right? So, I'm going to continue to focus in on certain characters that I like more. Like today, we're trying Marisa again, and I actually studied up on some videos overnight of what Marisa can do, and I want to jump very briefly into training mode to try out this combo that I saw online and see if I can figure out. There's one normal, and I can't remember, I don't know if it's back fierce or if it's a different command normal or if it's just close standing medium punch. I can't tell because I haven't played with her in a while. I wasn't totally familiar with the animation, but it seems like everyone's dash canceling into this one normal to extend a combo. So I need to know what that normal is. So I'm just going to test it out today in training mode briefly, and then we're going to jump right online. I think my Marisa is 2-star platinum, something like that. Not a high ranking. Let me look. because I actually have everything documented here. So my Marisa is I was right, 2-star platinum. And the few times that I've used her, I've always come out on top in a positive ranking. But I haven't used Marisa in a couple of weeks now. And the thing is, with fighting games like this, things change all the time. It very well may be that a lot of people now know how to handle Marisa, and she's not really that easy to use anymore, right? Good news is I did look into tech with her to figure out some of her best strategies, and I think I know some of her best strategies now, and we're going to try some of those out today. We'll see how it goes, okay? But, I'm excited for more Street Fighter 6. However, I do feel like moving into July, it shouldn't just be about the competitive play anymore. We should do 2 different things with Street Fighter 6 this month. Number 1, we absolutely should return to the World Tour mode. This is the mode that was meant to be the single-player content for people who aren't just about going online and playing competitively. You create your avatar character, you go through this virtual world, beating up people in the streets, leveling up, earning new abilities, and things like that. And essentially what you get to do is make an avatar that's completely customized, which is really neat. And when you have that avatar customized, you can then take it online, and you can actually fight against people with your avatar. And that's really cool, and I want to do that. That's Battle Hub, which I haven't even stepped 1 foot into Battle Hub yet in this game, because I haven't really messed around with it yet. But I want to do that, and, this is a 20-hour game mode I've played 3 hours into. So I want to play that, and it's not going to be a major focus, but I do want to, capitalize on that and play it maybe once or twice a week, a couple hours, Nothing too crazy, but it's something a little different. It'll break up the content, and by the way, unlike my other Street Fighter 6 streams, when I play that mode, World Tour mode, I can interact with you guys and chill. It could be a late-night chill stream where we're hanging out, as opposed to when I'm playing competitive Street Fighter 6 online, I can't do that. I got to be hyper-focused on whatever I'm doing, and I can't really, relax with you guys. But with this mode, I would be able to, okay? So that's number 1. By the way, Jade, good to see you. And sorry that you got some kind of a bug, but I hope that you feel better. Okay. Here's the other aspect of Street Fighter 6 I haven't touched. Lobbies with viewers, right? Ever since the game came out, my viewers have been saying, hey, can we play in a lobby with you? And I answered, well, let me play some more. Let me get some more competitive gameplay in. Let me learn a variety of characters. Well, guess what? We're a month into the game, a little over a month into the game, and I feel like we're at that level now. I feel like I have a good variety of characters, between Blanca, Zangief, Marisa, Lily, maybe dabbling a little bit with Ryu or whatever. I have a good variety of characters I could use if I wanted to play against you guys online. Now, here's the question, and this is what I'm going to heavily rely on the viewers on. What's the best way to go about this? Can you make a private lobby in Street Fighter 6 where maybe it's password protected, so someone who's watching the stream would know the password because I can announce it, but not everyone else? In addition, is there moderation available? So if some asshole comes into this lobby and is holding us all up and is not playing and is trying to troll, or is making some kind of a really insulting, abusive name, or is just acting like an asshole, that we can moderate them and get them the fuck out of there. Because this was the major problem with all of the Street Fighter games that I've played in the last decade, is that there's a lobby system and it's junk. People come in, they can't be kicked, they can't be moderated, it doesn't work. You invite people, they can't get in, it says error code and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would need to basically know how to set stuff up to know what to do and do it properly before I would want to take on this task. I want to do it. Let me put it this way. I want to do viewer lobbies. I would love to do viewer lobbies once or twice a week. That would be neat. That's a variety of gameplay. That's a way that I can practice my characters without having to worry about, ranked stuff and just messing around. It would be fun, I think. But we got to figure it out. How can you set it up properly, right? So I would love to do it. And, as soon as next week, I'm serious, as soon as next week, I'd maybe do it on a night stream to test the waters, see how it works, see if it's fun, and if people enjoy it, that's good. Listen, I know if I play against viewers, I'll play against a variety of characters. That's a great thing. That's a very good thing. Instead of everyone always being an online tryhard, oh my god, win by every means, to have a method to just test stuff is really useful. That's how I used to learn in Street Fighter. Sit down with my friends or fellow local players, and just everyone messing around, trying out different tech, trying out different characters, and seeing what sticks. In Street Fighter, and in any fighting game in general, a lot of the practicing of the game is just throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. Sometimes you'll think, I'm going to like this character, and then when you use him, you don't. But you won't know that till you try him, and you don't want to go right to ranked and just get smacked around by people who've been playing high level constantly, you see? So these kind of lobbies would cater towards this. And I think it would make sense to do it. Now, again, it all depends. We have to figure this out. All right? I would like to say, let's talk about this over the next few days. It won't be this streaming week. It'll likely be maybe next week we try our first viewer lobby on a late stream. All right? So let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And I think we will implement it next week. And we'll try it out and see how it goes. And if it goes well, then maybe we'll continue to do this kind of stuff. Right? All right. Excuse me. Whew. Anso Kamaru says, it is extremely easy to set up. Extremely. Well, that's good. And I hope that it works. The moderation is key. So hopefully it works well. And, you know, we'll be able to get it going. Again, a password would be key as well. We have a password so people watching the stream can jump right in. It's not just an open lobby for everyone to join. That'd be good. All right, we'll try to figure it out. But I say let's start talking about this. Let's figure out when we want to do it next week. We'll do it as a night stream next week. Okay? We'll figure it out. So that's kind of something special. So these are things I want to do in Street Fighter 6. And now that we've gotten this far in the game, we could start doing them. Okay? The other game that's remaining is Final Fantasy 16. And let me tell you something. I don't know. I swear, like, people for some reason either don't listen or they listen to the wrong people. I kid you not. I had maybe like a dozen people contact me in the last week, write me emails and stuff saying, please keep playing Final Fantasy 16. You keep saying you're going to quit the game. And we're upset about that. You know, we want to see you play it. People are enjoying it and la la la. And I read, I'm like, I didn't say I'm quitting the game. Like, who said that? What I said was we were going to play it Saturday. We're going to play it again tomorrow. We're going to see how it goes. And we're going to make a judgment. I'm leaning towards continuing it because I bought the game. It's $70. I'm now like 17 to 18 hours invested in it. I feel like it would be a loss to cut the game out of the schedule and not play it again. You know what I'm saying? Now, admittedly, when I play this game, it's incredibly boring half the time. I've outright said this. But at the same time, there's moments that are really, really good. So I'm trying to balance the good with the bad, and the bad parts that are boring, I'm trying to roll with it. I do funny commentary, we joke about it live together on the stream, and we get through those boring parts, and then we get to the interesting parts, right? So, yeah, I mean, I am leaning towards continuing the game. I don't know why people have this weird notion that I'm quitting it. I never said I was. But again, I think people listen to the wrong people, because how much do you want to bet? You know who, my hate watchers are probably sitting there saying, hey, Phil's gonna quit Final Fantasy. Phil's quitting another game. No one said that. But people just listen to the wrong shit, you know? It's really stupid. In that regard, that sadly there is this dumb white noise that people listen to that's just horse shit. So, in regards to Final Fantasy 16, we are continuing it tomorrow as a main stream. Chances are the daytime streams will continue to be balanced between Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16. But it's going to be the night streams that are now going to be freed up for content, such as the World Tour mode in Street Fighter 6, maybe doing a viewer lobby in Street Fighter 6, and probably Amnesia the Bunker, because I want to do some variety, and I think that would be a great game to interject into the mix for variety purposes. It's a survival horror game that a lot of people seem to be really enjoying. It came out a month ago. Sadly, it got little to no attention in the real gaming landscape because it kind of went wedged between a bunch of such high-profile AAA releases that most people didn't even notice it came out. But I liked the last one. What was it? Amnesia Rebirth. I liked that game. I would be very happy to try out this new one, and play it for variety purposes and balance it with everything else. You know, I love horror games, so I think that's something. I think that's kind of the plan for the rest of the month. Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16 stay as kind of daytime streams. The night streams will be alternated between maybe World Tour mode once a week in Street Fighter, maybe a viewer lobby in Street Fighter, and then maybe some Amnesia the Bunker. Okay? That's kind of what I'm leaning to. Now, of course, I'm going to listen to all of your feedback. I'm not going to just do what I want. I want to listen to what your opinions are or whatever. I know that there is a desire for me to go back to Elden Ring at one point. This is a playthrough that was very fun earlier this year, doing the Magic run, and I got really far in it, and then we dropped it when all the new releases started coming out. I'd be more than happy to go back to that if that is what you guys desire, or if you have other input on things that I can do. I'm down for that too. I'm open to suggestion, excuse me, open to suggestion this month until the end of the month. Now, August, we are going to have several anniversary events planned, all right, including a retrospective marathon, including a special event regarding just kind of reminiscing and rewatching Project 7 together. where there's going to be a special tier maker ranking all my previous Game of the Year award winners and runners-up. There's going to be, retro playthroughs of older games that I played in my early days as a YouTuber, but I want to do a full playthrough of them in a modern setting now. Like, all this special stuff's going to be going on over the month of August to balance with other things. So it's going to be a special month. I don't think we're going to have any shortage of content to do in August. Of course, I'm going to keep playing Street Fighter 6 as well, so we're going to have a good balance of stuff come August. So no worries there, but let's see what happens, and I need your feedback right now. What would you like to see more? How would you like to see it go down? Please give me your feedback on that, and I will weigh and balance all of your opinions through various methods. Well, how can I give Phil feedback? You can tell me in the chat. You can email me. You can tweet me. Yes, you can actually tweet me. Why people think they can't tweet me, I have no idea. You can tweet directly to me. You can leave a comment on a video. That's huge. People leaving comments on videos, I read those every day and approve them. You leave a comment on this podcast giving me your opinion on what you'd like to see, I will read it and take that as input. That's probably the best way, honestly. Leaving comments on my videos is probably the best way to give me direct feedback, because I have to read those every day and approve them, so I always read those through. Okay, so now that I've kind of summarized where we are with everything, let's do a brief kind of preview and or schedule update for the week so you guys know what's going on. And we got a little bit of game news, just a little bit of game news to talk about this morning. We'll do some shout outs and we'll go from there. Okay, so schedule-wise, what are we up to for the rest of the week? Well, today it is Street Fighter 6 continuing on. We're going back to ranked gameplay with characters who I haven't been using recently. Today it is Marisa. I'm excited for Marisa. I like the character and the build. Admittedly, she's more simplistic than other characters, but she's very powerful. If you have good execution and good timing, you can get a good punish combo that's ginormous damage. At this point, I don't know if she'll be as competitively feasible as she used to be, but I'm going to try. Like I said, I actually watched some videos last night, and I'm going to try some tech, all right? And we're going to see what happens today on the streams. All right, we are. We're going to see what happens and go from there. I'm going to very briefly jump into training mode to try 1 or 2 combos, and we're going to go right to ranked and just see how the ranked goes, all right? Anso Kamaru, I have read every one of your comments about Final Fantasy 16, absolutely. I swear people think that if they leave comments on my videos, it goes into a black hole. No, it just goes to an approval process. If it's a troll, it gets deleted by YouTube automatically, and then everything else I read through, approve, and they get posted. Like, it's actually a better system than it used to be, because it used to be the comments just get auto-posted, and I would never see them. Now they all sit in a queue for me to read through. So it's very useful. Anyway, so that's today's main stream. Marisa, ranked gameplay, Street Fighter 6. Tonight on the late stream, it is Endgame of Zelda. As I've already explained, we're in the final dungeon. We'll see how far I can get, and if I can get to Ganondorf, great. And if not, well, let's just make great progress tonight, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, right here on DSP Gaming. Tomorrow, we flip over and alternate. So tomorrow, it's going to be Final Fantasy 16 on the main stream. I'm happy this will be an uninterrupted stream this time. We'll have 3 solid hours of progress. We'll see where the plot goes. We'll have some interactive fun. I hope you guys will join me for that tomorrow. It should be a good time. Then on the late stream tomorrow night, it's going to be Street Fighter 6 World Tour mode. For the first time in a freaking month, I'm actually going to try out this single-player mode. We're going back to my avatar. We're going to have him continue to fight. If you remember, we had just met with Marisa and unlocked Marisa's moves, and then we never played it again. So a month later here, we're going to go. And by the way, I have all these avatar items unlocked because I have 2 seasons of this past content that I've been unlocking as I played the game. I have all this summertime floaties and silly like summer shorts to put on, and then we have other things from the Rashid pack that's currently going on. So we can actually implement all this stuff in the mode tomorrow night. It's going to be pretty funny, I think, to kind of customize the character. So that should be funny. Yeah, it should be funny. It should be interesting, and I'm gonna have a good time with it. And we could chill. It'll be a chill late night stream of Street Fighter for a change, because usually you can't chill when I play Street Fighter. We'll be able to chill when I play Street Fighter tomorrow, which will be a welcome, change, right? Then on Wednesday, it'll be more Street Fighter 6, but this time around, it's going to be Lily ranked gameplay. All right, I'm excited for that, because I like Lily as a character, although she seems limited with what she can do. She seems pretty effective, at least when I've used her. I know she's kind of low tier from what everyone's saying, but I want to give her a shot in ranked again. And hopefully you'll join me for that stream on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, the likely conclusion of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Okay? And we'll see what happens if we beat it or not. By the way, I have no idea why my webcam... Does the frame rate on my webcam look low right now? It looks choppy to me. And I don't know why it's doing that. It's being pretty stupid. I have no clue why it is doing that right now. What if I do this? It does look a little better, doesn't it? I think that fixed it. Nah, it still looks a little choppy. I don't know. How does it look to you guys? Okay, does it look all right? How's the frame rate of the camera for you? I don't know. Sometimes this thing just, it fucks up. I don't know why. I mean, I have nothing to do with it. I didn't do it, right? I didn't mess with the webcam. I literally didn't mess anything. My bit rate is fine. My CPU is only being using 20%. I don't know what's going on. It's technology, right? I don't know what's going on, why it's doing that. It's just being stupid. What if I change the resolution? What if I go like that? Oh, I misclicked. So I don't even think that even worked. What if I go like this? Okay. Now the frame rate actually looks good. Now that I lowered the resolution, it actually does look good. And now if I go back, I don't know. I give up. I don't know why it's doing that. Whatever. I give up. Anyway, so continuing on. Yeah, hopefully the conclusion of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Wednesday night. We'll see. If it is the end, great. If not, we can play it again, but it'll be nice to finish the game this week. All right. So what this means next week, when I come back from my break, because my break is Thursday. Friday, Street Fighter all day long. Likely I'll try a new character on Friday. In fact, I kind of have an idea of exactly who I want to use on Friday. I've been thinking about it, and I have a good idea who I want to try out on Friday. It's actually a character, get this, I've not used at all yet. At all. In Street Fighter 6, that is. So, we'll see. But I'm thinking of trying a new character on the main stream on Friday. And as usual, if it goes well, I'll probably play that character all day long. If not, maybe I'll mix it up and play a different character for Friday Night Fight segment. We'll see. Saturday, we'll do Final Fantasy 16. And we'll pair that on Saturday night with something else. I'm thinking maybe more World Tour mode in Street Fighter. Or maybe we could try the first fan lobby of multiplayer in Street Fighter. Or we could try Amnesia the Bunker. That's what I mean. I want your feedback now on what I should be doing. Once we have all these open night streams to play with, let me know. What do you want to see come Saturday night? Sunday will be React Day, so it'll be DSP versus the internet on the first stream, and the late stream will be open again. And again, it could be World Tour Mode in Street Fighter 6, Amnesia the Bunker, or a fan lobby, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to then alternate back and forth between Street Fighter 6 daytime streams and Final Fantasy 16 daytime streams, and the night streams will be alternated between alternative Street Fighter 6 content that's more chill, or maybe Amnesia. All right, so we'll see what you guys want. I'm very eager to take in all of your feedback on this, okay? Fair enough? I hope so. All right, that's what we got planned. Now, like I already had said earlier, one thing that I'm planning to do later this month, which is now going to be on Saturday, July 29th, is the Dark Side of Machinima long-form React event. This event will be threefold. Number one, I'm going to react to the June the King YouTube documentary on Machinima, the Partnership Network. I'm curious to see what he's dredged up with his research. He does a great job with this, and I wanted to live react to that because I was with this company for 6 years and likely have more frame of reference and more information about them than most people. So I'd actually like to give my feedback on that. That's number one. Number two, I have my own personal stories and stuff to share with you. All these experiences I had with this company. I saved all of my emails with this company from back in the day that I can now go back and talk about. Why? Because they don't exist. You can't be a non-disclosure agreement when they don't exist. They're out of business. So I can talk all about contract negotiations. I can talk about basically how essentially, you know, they had these crazy things going on where they had incentives that they would drop, you know, over on a dime. They would change their attitude towards content creators. It was really wild the ride I had with them. So we're going to talk all about that, including having emails and things to show and back up what I'm talking about. In addition, we'll probably do some food that day too. Like I'll probably order out and we'll probably have like a feasting with Phil mukbang or whatever you want to call it during that as well. So it'll be a long form event for DSP Reacts, which we haven't done something like this in months. It'll be a good booster for the channel. Hopefully we'll get some support on the channel for this event as well. It would be nice to have something like that for the channel, because it's been kind of stagnant over there for a while. So that'll be a way to kind of get some excitement at the end of the month for DSP Reacts. But in addition to that, I am planning on doing some reviews of movies starting this week. Tonight, I'm going to watch the Super Mario Brothers animated movie, and then I'm going to review it tomorrow on DSP Reacts, my sister channel. So finally, this movie you guys have wanted me to see since April, I'm finally going to get to see it. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on it tomorrow over there. So I hope you'll check out my review tomorrow night on DSP Reacts. And then the next movie I'm going to review is that Dungeons & Dragons movie starring Chris Pine that came out like a couple months ago. That'll be interesting to watch and review. So I'm planning on having, at least 2 or more reviews posted up on DSP Reacts this month. All right, so good variety of content over there. We're kind of getting back into the swing of things here. All right. The last thing I want to mention before we get to game news is, as you can see, once again, we had a dip in membership. And it was cool because the other day, we got like 50 memberships. Actually, take it back. We had like 90 memberships on this channel. There was like a rallying of support. People were gifting memberships. It was great. And then we lost a bunch of them again. And it's like, I don't want people to get frustrated. All right? I don't. Please don't get frustrated. But understand that basically 2-3 months ago, we were in the midst of a bunch of playthroughs that basically people were rallying for. Right now, there is rallied support for Street Fighter 6, for sure. But it's basically a lot of tip support. Outside of that, I haven't seen a lot of like people becoming members or whatever for Street Fighter 6. And a lot of the normal support I would get for other playthroughs hasn't happened. I think because, number one, Zelda's a game I've been playing for over 2 months, and we're trying to wrap it up, right? Diablo 4 is done, and it was basically a very chill late-night stream and didn't really garner that much support to begin with. And Final Fantasy 16, for my audience, seems to be a dud. And I know that that's a shame because it's funny. I'm getting comments on videos now. And even I got an email overnight, and they're like, I don't get it because I'm watching a big streamer. I just want to just listen to this. I'm watching a big streamer. A big streamer. They pull in like thousands of viewers a stream, and they're playing Final Fantasy 16, and everyone likes it. I was like, how do people not understand the difference in 2023 between a big streamer and Darkside Phil? I am not a big streamer at all. I am a little rinky-dink guy streaming in my little private corner of the internet, minding my own business for my own audience that likes my style of curated content. I literally do nothing mainstream. Nothing. I don't do viral videos. I don't do viral games. I don't collaborate. I don't have sponsors. I don't have partners. I do absolutely nothing like any of the big streamers. The reason big streamers get thousands of viewers for Final Fantasy 16 is because they're big streamers. These people could literally be sitting there taking a shit on stream and they'd have 5,000 viewers. Do you understand that? People aren't tuning in because they're watching Final Fantasy 16. They're tuning in to watch this virally popular person put content out on the internet. Do you get it? So when you say, I don't get it. A giant streamer is playing Final Fantasy 16 and they're getting thousands of viewers. Yes, they could pick their fucking nose and flick the booger at the camera and they'd get $100 per booger from 27 people. It's not the same. It's not apples to apples comparison. You're absolutely out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? I am nothing compared to these people. I'm a bug crushed under their heel. But I'm okay with that. I'm happy with where I am on the internet. I like being who I am, but you have to understand that for me, a lot of the people who come to watch me play games are people who want to see me enjoy the game I'm playing, and they come for my honesty. Well, we've been playing Final Fantasy 16 now for 17, 18 hours, and half the time I play it, I'm bored to tears. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to kiss the game's butt and say it's the best Final Fantasy ever to get inflated views so we'll have fanboys of Final Fantasy come to the stream. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's the best Final Fantasy. I don't even know if it's the best one in the last 20 years. I don't even know if it ranks in the top 3 of the last 20 years, to be frank with you. It seems like they went a completely different direction, and I don't know if it was a good direction, right? I'm not sure. I can't really wrap my head around this game yet. So, let's continue, all right, with this game, and let's see what it is, but Jasper just opened the closet door. Sounds like he's going to go into the closet in the hallway, which is cute. He goes into our linen closet. He starts sleeping and snuggling in the sheets. It's very cute. Anyway, basically, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to continue to play this game. I am, all right? And I'm not going to sugarcoat the playthrough, but you have to understand, Phil, I just don't understand it. I thought that you would love this game because big streamers seem to love it, and they're getting 5,000 viewers on a stream. It's like, how do people still make that comparison, right? Back in the day, before I was a streamer, it was always, Phil, I don't understand it because other people much more popular than you are getting more views. It used to always be the comparison to like Angry Joe, right? And I don't get it, Phil. Angry Joe reviews games and he gets hundreds of thousands of views, and you review a game and you can only get 10,000 views, but I think your reviews are better. Yes, because he's Angry Joe. Because he has a giant following. He has a viral following on YouTube that likes everything he does. You know what I mean? He's always going to have more popularity than a little rinky-dink guy like me who never collaborated, who never branched out, who just did things for himself, you know? It's always an unfair comparison when people want to bring up something insanely more popular than me. The real one that gets me today, Maximilian. You do realize that Maximilian is the biggest fighting game content creator. The biggest one. There is no one bigger than him. He's become the biggest guy. He gets every opportunity, every sponsorship, every partnership, everything. It's all given to him because he is the mainstream guy, right? He's bigger than all the competitive FGC players. He's bigger than all of them. Why in the holy hell would you compare me to Maximilian? You're out of your mind. I am smaller than everyone in the FGC, and you compare me to the biggest guy. That's just wild. Anyway, all that being said, I'm not quitting Final Fantasy 16, but I'm going to continue it and be honest with it, and I'm not going to kiss its butt or anything. You know me. I'm an honest dude, and I'm going to keep telling you what I think about the game honestly, and I hope that you'll continue to enjoy it for that. You know, I do. All right? Oh, my eye. Ah. So, there you have it. Don't worry. Final Fantasy 16 isn't going anywhere, but I'm also not going to kiss the game's butt and say it's great when I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think there's parts that are great, but man, they really balanced it with boring-ass parts that are stupid, that shouldn't even be in there, and it's just a poorly paced game, and I feel like that's why we fall asleep half the time I play it, and then the other half is cool. Let's continue for the good parts, all right? I think that Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16 are a good balance. Two games that'll definitely balance each other out. So, okay. All right. So, if you would like to support the channel right now, okay, a great way to support this channel would be a membership or a gifted membership, because we have lost so many members in the last, month or so since I've been covering Street Fighter 6, and basically all of that kind of YouTube side support fell off. The tips have been great, so I'm not complaining in that regard, but yeah, the YouTube side support has dramatically dipped in the last month since I started playing Street Fighter 6 so heavily, and everything else was an RPG. So, if you could support the channel with a membership or a gifted membership, there's tons of people, hundreds of people, who'd be very happy to accept a gifted membership right now. They enjoyed them when they had them, and then they all expired, and, just think about it, all right? That's a great way to help out everyone. Everyone's super happy when we get a big member bomb on the channel. It's a big positive feeling, correct? So, I hope you will consider it. If outside of that, everything's appreciated. A super chat, a tip, everything's great. Thank you to anyone who supports this channel in any way, all right? A little bit of game news, but nothing too major today. There's a couple of quick stories that I'd like to cover for you. Oh, interesting. The good news is my video for today over on DSP Reacts, which is more GTA fails, addiction, cartoon, and real life Big Smoke. So it was part 3 of my DSP versus the internet episode for this week, has been approved for all advertisers. Woohoo! I can make money on one of my videos from yesterday. I feel like I've won the jackpot of the lottery at this point. Because really, it's so ridiculous that anything you try to upload now just keeps getting demonetized on YouTube for this. It's ridiculous. It's just nuts. I can make like $2 on that video now. Oh, that's stupendous. Right? Okay, anyway. So, the game stories I'd like to talk about. Game story number 1. Daisuke Tsuji, who voiced Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima, will now be the new voice actor who plays Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 1 coming out in September. That is excellent. I think that the voice talent of Jin Sakai was excellent in Ghost of Tsushima. I think everything about Ghost of Tsushima was excellent. Like, I think it was just a great game in general. And to see that cast get more work is excellent. You know, Mortal Kombat 1 looks like it's stacking up to be a great game. Although it's funny because when you watch Street Fighter 6 on this, you know, RE engine that it runs on, the Capcom proprietary engine for all of their games now, and then you see the graphics of, like, Mortal Kombat 1, and you're looking at it and you're like, Mortal Kombat 1 seems last gen, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, the gameplay elements look pretty good, and the story looks like it'll be pretty good, but the graphics just don't look that good. Because they're running on an old-ass engine, essentially. I don't know why they didn't think that this would be a great time to kind of upgrade everything, but they haven't. It looks pretty old to me. It looks pretty dated, the graphics. Outside of that, the game looks great, but I definitely think the graphics look dated. Especially when you're playing Street Fighter 6, you've got these big flashy drive impact animations and crazy super, you know what I mean? And then you're going to play Mortal Kombat and be like, dude, it feels like we're playing like a, you know, a complete last-gen game. So I hope that it's still good. I hope the story's great, and I'm looking forward to it, covering it for you guys in September, okay? Then, the other news story I have for you, there is in development a Black Panther video game. It is an original third-person, single-player, action-based game. It is being developed by Monolith Productions. This is the company who has staff that worked on games such as Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Halo Infinite, God of War, Call of Duty, and others. It's essentially a newer studio. It's not like they have a great track record, but it is, you know, employees and game developers who've worked on other games that have been very successful. So it could stack up to be a really great game. Yeah, I hope it will be. But it's in development now. We just got wind that it's in the development, but it's in the pipeline. If anything, this would be good, and here's why I think this is good. Sadly, we had the Avengers. The Avengers came out by Crystal Dynamics Games as a Service game, and it was good for like 8 hours for the story, and then when you actually get into what the game is after that, it sucked. It was boring, repetitive, grindy, and a shitty game. It was poorly designed because they banked on this whole Games as a Service long-term grinding model with your friends, and that gameplay model just isn't very sound anymore. So, when that failed, all of a sudden it was like, well, Marvel is like dead to video games. So Guardians of the Galaxy came out the next year, and it was a great game, and no one bought it. Because everyone's like, well, Avengers sucks, so this is a Marvel game, it's going to suck. Shame. Guardians of the Galaxy was absolutely outstanding. They even put it on Game Pass, and they couldn't really get that many people to play it. So then, what's happened since then? We've had 0 Marvel games that have really done well. Take a look at Marvel Midnight Suns from last year. It flopped huge. It wasn't like a normal flop. It was like, oops, this game, like, we wish we didn't make it. It flopped so hard with so few sales compared to the amount of money and time they invested in it. So it seems like, yeah, Marvel's had a bad time. Now, the good news is, later this year, we've got Spider-Man 2, or I like to call it Spider-Man, which it should be called because it has 2 Spider-Men in it, but instead they're calling it the Spider-Man 2 instead of Spider-Man. I think that's a really big mistake. It's a good opportunity to call it Spider-Man. But anyway, I digress there. I bring it up every time. Anyway, that'll be coming out this fall. You gotta hope that Spider-Man will be a great game. I hope so. If it's as good as the first one, and you know, if it looks great on these next-gen consoles, hopefully, or I say next-gen, current-gen consoles at this point, duh. You know, 3 years into the life cycle of a console, I think we should call it current-gen. But hopefully it's good. Hopefully they come out good. You know, it's a great game, and maybe that'll reinvigor or put more vigor back into the Marvel gaming community, because I do feel like Marvel games have just been deflated for ages now because of Avengers. Like, Avengers really screwed everything up. You know, everyone had this faith in this game. It came out, and everyone hated it. So let's hope for the best, and let's hope that, you know, this game does well, and then maybe we can have Black Panther or another great game. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't have amazing games of these great characters in the Marvel franchise. It's been a long time. When was the last time we had a Thor video game? When his first fucking movie came out over 10 years ago, and that game was duty. It was terrible, right? Why not have games of these characters, right? So I guess we'll see. And we'll go from there. But for me, I hope that Spider-Man does well, because then we can have hype again for games like Black Panther. Okay? That is true. They're developing Wolverine. It may come out next year. We don't know yet. We don't really have any information on it yet. That's what we're kind of waiting on for this Wolverine game, right? Airhead said, did they say anything about crossplay for MK1 yet? You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if they did. Did they? I don't know. And, you know, that could be a big determining factor is, you know, what console am I going to get Mortal Kombat 1 on? Well, you know, I feel like if it's not crossplay and I get it on Xbox, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. So maybe instead I should get it on PlayStation. I don't know. But then I have to play with my old joystick. I don't know, man. Anyway. All right. Let's get to shout-outs. All right? So we start off today with Chiakak, who did a $10 super chat and says, I'm just now getting into Street Fighter. If there was one tip you could give me, what would it be? I'm completely new to fighting games. All right. Here is the best tip I give everyone. I've said it a million times since the game came out. I'll repeat myself because I feel it's worth repeating. A loss in a fighting game is not truly a loss unless you feel like you wasted your time and you learned nothing. Because in competitive fighting games, you have to learn to be a good loser before you can become any kind of a winner. What I mean by that is that you have to be ready to take your licks and lose a lot, but as long as you're absorbing knowledge for every loss, it doesn't matter that you lost. If you're playing with Marisa and you're fighting against Ryu, and in a match, this Ryu keeps jump kicking you and it beats everything you do, at least you know that jump kick is incredibly effective, and when it comes out, you realize don't just try to throw something out against it. Maybe be more defensive. Maybe you try to work in training mode and try to figure out what move will beat that jumping move that Ryu keeps doing to me. As long as you're absorbing knowledge, or you improve in some way when you lose, then you're good to go. And I think some people just take it that a loss is just a waste of time. That is completely the wrong mentality to have. If that was the mentality of a fighting game player, I'm not even kidding you, I would have said that 98% of the time I spent in arcades back in the day was a waste of time. I didn't win constantly, you know? It was all about taking your licks and learning from those licks. Do you see? So, anything competitive, that's the case. But in the case of fighting games, that's the key thing, right? Because there's been people who, in the last month, because they knew I was going to get Street Fighter 6, were inspired by me and they went and bought Street Fighter 6. And then they would come to my stream and they would say, hey, Phil, you know, I've been playing this game and I'm just getting my ass handed to me, right? And because of that, I feel like, sadly, I'm not getting anywhere. In which case, I'll be honest, yeah, fighting games aren't for everyone. If you're someone who absolutely thinks you're going to learn everything right away and you're going to jump in and be headfirst into competition, it's never going to happen. You see? But if you're someone who's ready to take your time, learn a little bit day by day, and you're determined and you're not someone who gives up, that's how you should approach fighting games, in my opinion. All right? That's the best advice I can give you. If you're looking for tech advice on Street Fighter 6, I mean, I give you generalized tech advice, but I don't think that's as useful as what I just told you. Okay? If you want tech advice, there's 5 zillion people out there doing tech videos right now, and you could probably find beginner stuff, basic stuff on YouTube out the butt about Street Fighter 6, and it'll teach you the basics of the game. So, thank you for the super chat. Arkham has done a super chat and said the viewers want Batman Arkham Knight. Well, you want Batman Arkham Knight, of course. We'll see what happens. Next month, I think we're going to do... I think next month we're going to do a bunch of retro stuff. Perhaps we will play Batman again. Thank you, Arkham, for the super chat. Okay. All right. Continuing on. I received a $29.99 tip. I wonder if you guys could figure out who tipped me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It was Joe Splamoni from down the street. Joe Splamoni has tipped me $29.99. It's amazing. Thank you, Joe Splamoni. I appreciate that. Now, of course, we all know it was Game Trekker, who's been supporting all of my Street Fighter content in the last month. Actually, more than a month now. What happened? I forgot the dollar sign. Okay, and let's see what Game Trekker has to say about today's Street Fighter stream. He says, Marisa time. I look forward to seeing that new tech you may have found that you can implement today. Perhaps you'll finally start using her charged heavy normals. they're huge for her game plan at a high level. And also, it's also worth noting in your gameplay with her so far, you barely optimized her at all. One of Marisa's big strengths is high level is her giant damage. Implementing better combo routes could be huge for your play with her, though of course that's much easier said than done. Yeah, I've seen a few things. I basically saw, there's a really good drive rush with her. Her standing fierce punch. If you do drive rush fierce punch and it hits, giant combo. If you do drive rush fierce punch and it blocks, you're at frame advantage to do various different things. You can delay and then bait with like a standing medium or low medium punch into a combo. You can delay and then like do the command throw. You can do a drive impact. You can do a super if you have it. Like I've seen these options, but that's one of her drive rushes that's good. You can drive rush, do nothing, and then do her command throw. You can drive rush and then do low jab. So you have 3 different routes from a drive rush with Marisa that are all perfectly viable and lead to interesting stuff. And what I've seen from top level gameplay with Marisa, the goal is to get the opponent to the corner. So every combo path should be get the opponent to the corner as much as possible. You know, with the combos that I've been doing, which is like medium punch, dash cancel, medium punch, the OD version of the uppercuts into like the forward phalanx. Instead of doing that, or is it not phalanx, it's gladius. Yeah, the gladius. Instead of doing that, at the end of that combo, you dash cancel, you do another punch, and I'm unsure if the punch is medium punch or back fierce, and that's what I have to try in training mode. But after that, then you do the phalanx, and it combos, and it pushes them to the corner, and now you're at advantage because they're kind of trapped in the corner. And now you have all these options when they're in the corner. If you happen to combo them into the corner, if you juggle into the phalanx creates a pseudo wall bounce state that lets you extend your combo even further. And from there, you can combo supers and things. So that's my goal today, is to practice a little bit more with these combos and try to get this kind of midstream combo down so I know exactly what I'm doing from any circumstance, and also do a little bit of the drive rush practicing and then, you know, jump right into rank. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. The tech looks good, but it doesn't mean I can implement it. It all depends on, you know, a lot of factors. We'll see. Okay? All right. I received a $2 tip from, excuse me, oh my God, indigestion all of a sudden. Sorry about that, everyone. Wumba, tip $2, said Street Fighter is life. Thank you very much to Wumba for a $2 tip. The Wumba fruits. They're absolutely delicious, lip smacking good, full of juice. And then you have a $1 tip from JDTV. He says, what's up, Phil? I'd like to give you feedback from my perspective regarding Street Fighter 6. I enjoy watching the streams, but I feel you should focus more on characters you like to play. For example, how about Blanca? I liked the Blanca Bonanza stream where you ranked up to Diamond 3. That was my favorite Street Fighter stream of yours so far. I can totally understand that you're a variety content creator. Because of that, you'd like to play all of the characters. Well, actually, I don't want to play all of them, being honest. I want to narrow it. Here's what I would ideally like to do. Narrow it down to maybe 5. 5 characters that I feel I'm comfortable with. I like the builds. I can level up with them. And those are the ones that I want to focus on long term. Maybe there'll be some changes along the way, especially with DLC expansion characters coming out. You know, Rashid is coming out on the 24th, and I'm going to be trying him. But I don't think in any competitive fighting game you can play everyone. You need to play them at a basic level to understand what they're capable of doing. But you're never going to get good and competitive with every character in a fighting game unless you literally have no light. So I agree with you there. You know, I want you to understand I'm not trying to master every character or play with every character. I'm just trying to get a basic understanding of each one. Okay? So, he says, I feel like if you do play with all the characters, it won't help you to improve with the actual character that you feel like you're good with, because every character plays differently. If possible, try to focus more on Blanca, or maybe at least 1 or 2 streams a week where you could only play with Blanca. I'd love to see you get to that master rank with him, not hating, just giving honest feedback, and I hope you understand. Of course I understand. I was talking about this on Friday. I was like, if I play with Blanca, you know, maybe once a week, at least to keep up with the tech and everything, you know, I'll probably continue to get good, and eventually within, you know, a month, maybe I'll hit master. Who knows, right? If I play with all other characters, I don't go back to Blanca for 3 weeks, then I'll be dead in the water, right? So we'll see what happens. Well, I agree with you to some extent. The thing is, you got to be careful, especially with me. Again, I'm not a pro player. No one's coming to DSPGaming to watch Darkside Phil, the pro Street Fighter player, right? So if I only play one character, I guarantee you what will happen is people will get bored. They're going to say, you know what? That's too much Blanca. Every time you play Blanca. We're tired of Blanca. We want more variety. That's why I got to mix it up. right? That's why today I feel like Marisa makes sense. Lily on Wednesday makes sense. And then maybe do more Blanca at some point next week during a daytime stream, right? It's all about that happy medium. It's all about that balance and moderation. That's the key. When you're someone like me, and you're not a master of anything, but you're kind of a jack of everything. Jack of all trades, I should say. You got to have that balance, right? Ultravolt, I guess you just came in. He's saying, when and more Zelda soon? There's Zelda tonight on the late stream. I don't know. I literally just went through the schedule and said there's Zelda tonight and there's Zelda Wednesday night on the late streams. And we're looking to finish the game this week. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying my poofy hair. Okay. We have some options. We can do some Q&A, or we can try to end the podcast on the earlier side to get more gameplay. All right? I will say, let's do brief Q&A. Anyone have questions? Just throw them at me now. Charlie Sheen says, will you play Lies of P? Undecided. Don't know if I am or not. What I'll likely do is play the demo before it comes out and judge from there. Okay. Arkham likes my puffy hair. There you go. This is conditioned hair. This is showered, shampooed, and conditioned hair. And that's why it sticks up like this. Thoughts on the EDP apology? I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Ellipsian says, Xbox is releasing a whole bunch of indie demos. There's quite a few games in there like Sea of Stars and Marble It Up Ultra. Might be worth taking a look, kind of like a Game Pass night. We could do that. Absolutely. Moving forward, the next couple of weeks, we will have freedom on the night streams to do whatever we want. And if people want a kind of independent, Game Pass, check out demo style night, I'm down for that too. Yes. Will I watch Party Top 8 Street Fighter 6 at EVO? I think what you meant to say was, will I be watching the top 8 gameplay finals at EVO? Yeah, I might. Here's my question. Can you restream EVO without issue? Like, if EVO's broadcasting right now, it's the finals. Could I turn it on and rebroadcast it easily and do commentary over it and not get a problem? Or will I get into trouble if I rebroadcast EVO? I don't want to get into trouble. I'd be down to watch EVO and do commentary for you guys and let me know what I think about this high-level gameplay going on. But I want to make sure it's safe. I don't know if it's safe or you're going to get into trouble for doing it, right? Similarly, I've been watching videos of tech in Street Fighter, and I was thinking of doing that. Like, maybe we could do a night where we just watch tech videos, and I comment on them, and I tell you what I think about the videos and what I'm learning by watching the videos. We could do stuff like that, too. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Favorite side quest in Zelda? I don't even know what side quest you're talking about. You mean the current Zelda? I barely did any. I don't know. I don't know what you consider a side quest in Zelda. Expand Dong says, do you think you're fiending for Master in Street Fighter 6 ranked? You feel like you have something to prove? No. I don't have anything to prove. I just want to have fun with the game. It feels good to know that at least I'm getting better at a game when I've been out of competitive fighting games for over a decade. And when everyone out there has been saying you suck at games, and I know I don't, I'm saying if I would just dedicate time enough to a fighting game, I would get good at it. I just don't want to dedicate the time because I haven't found a game I liked enough. Here we are, a month into Street Fighter 6, and here I am climbing the ranks, right? So it's kind of like, gee, I've only told you this, for how long? Because you know what it was? A lot of people were like, oh, Phil will only ever be good at Super Turbo. He'll never be able to apply himself to a modern fighter. Well, guess what I'm doing? And now they can't stand it. Oh my god, make every excuse in the book. They're actually complaining that I'm using Blanca. Blanca's too easy. Get the fuck out of here. Yes, no matter what I do, there's an excuse for why it's not valid, right? If I went to EVO and I won EVO with Lily right now, they would say that Lily is broken, even though she's blatantly bottom tier in the game. That's what these idiots do, right? So, for me, it's not about disproving the haters. It's about just having fun with the game. And to some extent, that means showing that I kind of have the chops to hang competitively again, which is nice. It's nice to know that. I'm in absolutely no desire to get back into competitive fighting games. I don't want to go to a tournament. I don't want to go to EVO. Those days are long in my past. I'm done with that crap. But I like playing games and having fun with them. And I think that being competitive at the game is nice. You to be able to hang and not just be putting out crappy, scrubby gameplay. You know what I'm saying? So, there you have it. JDTV, no, I did not check out the Davoom device. I like the idea of it. But as you know, as I literally talked about yesterday on the podcast, I just don't have any real disposable income to be blowing on anything right now. It seems like every single time that I'm able to save money up and I can do something, something happens. Whether it's my tire being stolen off of my car, whether it's my food processor not food processor, food disposal unit breaking on me, amongst other things behind the scenes you guys don't know about that have happened this year. Every time some bullshit blows, my money gets wasted, and I'm tired of it. But that's adult life. So right now, no, I don't really have time or money to be thinking about getting a new device for behind me that's going to have things I can program. So I'd love it. It would really be great in addition to the streams, I feel. But, you know, I don't know what else to say, okay? Dab Hands made it to Master with Ryu. That's awesome. Congrats, Dab Hands. I'm glad to hear that because Ryu's tough, right? Ryu's really hard to use. Jade says, how did the React go? The React show went well yesterday, I would say. Alex Major says, tier list aside, who do you think is the easiest, best character in Street Fighter 6 online? I think the best character is Ken. He's ridiculous. He has every advantage possible and almost no disadvantages whatsoever in any situation. Everything is advantageous to Ken. Everything's fast. Everything's easily cancelable into a giant combo. Everything is safe. It's ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking with this character to make him like that. You know, he's essentially the ultimate scrub character. Do everything and be safe doing it. And if you get a random hit because you're lucky, insane, reward for zero risk. That's horseshit. There are characters that are easy to play. Marisa, easy to play. I would argue Blanca's probably pretty easy to play, but these characters are risk-reward characters. You gotta take chances to get your licks in. With Ken, it's like, fuck this, just do everything. It's all safe, and it's more dependent on your opponent capitalizing on you screwing up your execution than Ken doing, not being able to hang. It's just bullshit. I think they gotta fix that shit. Cool. I'm glad to hear that, Dab Hands. He said he was always having issue with Jamie's drive rush aerial. He figured out how to beat it. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I guess let's end the show, shall we? We'll end it a little on the earlier side. And then we'll get ready to get set up here and get started with Street Fighter 6 today. Like I said, I wanted a little bit of training mode with Marisa just to basically try to learn the basics of things that I saw online and then jump online and see how we do today, all right? So thank you, guys. Great stream. Great podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to those who supported. And let's head over to Street Fighter 6. Thanks for a great show today. And we still got 2 more full streaming days lined up for you all here this lovely summer week. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace out.